Florence is a city of immense beauty, historical, social, and cultural renewal, as well as artistic creation and innovation, all deeply rooted in Christian spirituality. Overlooking Florence, its religious monuments and civic buildings give witness to a glorious past that has been central to the development of Western culture. The physical and spiritual center of Florence is the Piazza del Duomo. The construction of its main building, the Cathedral Santa Maria del Fiore, began in 1296 under the architectural leadership of Arnolfo di Cambio, the intricate colored marble facade being completed only centuries later in 1887. The cathedral is flanked to the right by its slender 278 high bell tower Giotto's Campanile, named after Giotto di Bondone, upon whose original design it was constructed between 1334 and 1359. The structural work of the cathedral was completed with the realization of the dome, La Cupola, in 1461. Designed by Filippo Brunelleschi, it is a masterpiece of architecture, spanning an open space of over 144 feet, weighing over 37,000 tons, and built of over 4 million bricks. All for the greater glory of God and the Florentines' desire to express their crafts and art. The Florence Baptistry, adjacent to the west of the cathedral, is one of Florence's oldest religious buildings, constructed between 1059 and 1128. Its three bronze doors and its interior mosaics are powerful expressions of the profound religious inspiration of Florentine art. The bronze doors, called Gates of Paradise, on the east side of the octagonal baptistry, were created between 1425 and 1452 by master goldsmith and sculptor Lorenzo Ghiberti. They depict 10 scenes from Hebrew scripture in magnificent, intricate, high relief sculpture, overlaying several moments of a particular Old Testament story in each large gilded square. The mosaics, completed between 1225 and 1330, cover the entire internal dome and apsis of the baptistry of Florence, and represent one of the grandest works of mosaics in the Western world. The highest ring depicts the angelic hierarchies. The northern, eastern, and southern rings, from lower to higher, tell the stories of John the Baptist, to whom the baptistry is dedicated, the lives of Mary and Jesus, stories of Joseph, and stories from Genesis. The three western segments show the Last Judgment. At their center, the large figure of Christ, seated on the circles of paradise, stretching his arms and embracing all. Michelangelo sculpted several Pietas in his lifetime. The one in the Opera del Duomo was created between 1547 and 1555, when Michelangelo was between 72 and 80 years of age. The sculpture depicts Mary, mother of Jesus, supporting Jesus' dead body, just taken off the cross, together with Nicodemus, and flanked by Mary Magdalene, a figure completed by a later artist. It expresses Michelangelo's profound religious sense of closeness to both Jesus and his mother Mary, two figures almost merging into one another. The standing figure of Nicodemus carries the likeness of Michelangelo in form of a self-portrait. Donatello crafted this almost 2-meter high wooden sculpture for the Florentine baptistry at the age of 70. It represents Mary Magdalene in her old age as a pilgrim, dressed only in her own hair, consumed by fasting, yet strong, muscular, and even playful in her stance, her hands forming an inner space of prayer and peace. This sculpture greatly influenced Florentine art and its sense of beauty, not only in the harmonious rounded form, but also in the marks of a fully lived life, of courage, search, suffering, and a deep sense of connection with God. Tabernacles and other forms of public religious expression have been part of the Florentine tradition since the 1200s. They can be found on street corners and in small alleys throughout the city. There are far more than 1,000 of them in Florence, created from faraway times until more recently as popular art. Tabernacles were sponsored by families of varying economic means and social status. While the city's wealthy families and guilds built its cathedral and grand churches and paid for the decoration in frescoes and sculptures of chapels bearing their names, middle class families were able to commission tabernacles, often in this way putting the family name firmly on the city's map. They express a sense of religious devotion, mainly to Mary, mother of Jesus, together with John the Baptist, patron of the city and its people, and were, and to some extent still are, reminders of God's gracious presence among us in our daily lives. The Istituto o Ospedale degli Innocenti was designed by Filippo Brunelleschi and completed in 1445 as a children's orphanage, the first known public charity for the welfare of abandoned children. The 10 terracotta tondi of foundlings were created by Andrea della Robbia around 1463. The Istituto degli Innocenti is expression of a civic religion that understands the Christian way as belonging to public life and the common responsibility of all. Through an admissions window, now at the far left of the front loggia, with a grate just large enough to pass through a newborn baby, abandoned children were admitted without their bearer needing to reveal their identity. San Miniato al Monte is one of the finest examples of Romanesque architecture in Tuscany. Its exterior facade, created of white and green marble, is a masterpiece of classically inspired geometrical art. The beauty of the building and its exquisite location all contribute to a sense of serenity and oneness with God and the universe. San Miniato today, as 1,000 years ago, provides a haven of inward recollection, quiet and peace, and a new outlook on one's life and the world. The Cappella is a freestanding, covered altar with painted panels and a terracotta decorated vault. The crypt below functions as the main place of worship and prayer for the Benedictine community, and it is said to contain the bones of Saint Minias, to whom the church is dedicated. Above the crypt lies the raised choir with its Romanesque pulpit and screen. The apsis is dominated by a great mosaic with Christ at its center, looking over the world and the city below.